Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is a 2020 Ride LTD Snowboard Binding. The Ride LTD is a great piece. It's an all-mountain freestyle binding for beginner to advanced level riders. Most beginners could ride it, but there's a lot of tech to it that intermediate to advanced would really appreciate and enjoy, probably a little bit more. It matches up really well, of course, with this high back to the burnout board and its graphic. You'll see a lot of the Ride team riding the limited or the LTD piece. It is a little bit on the more stiff end of the scale. It has a feel and flex overall of about a 6, even though there's a slime back style high back. The chassis system, which is aluminum, is aircraft grade lifetime warranty aluminum. It's actually kind of a dual component. It's adjustable. You can adjust this heel loop out to accommodate any boot size basically. And then the footbed also adjusts out towards the toe side edge, which allows for a really big boot to fit in here and for you to have a customized fit. And that's a great thing about Ride bindings. There's lots of adjustability. You can change the angle of the high back, the forward lean, and of course the positioning down the center of your boots of both straps. The Wedgie 2.0 footbed actually absorbs tons of shock. As you see, it kind of ramps up in that toe area to give you a little bit more toe side leverage, which is great. And it's angled and canted at 2.5 degrees to help to align your ankles, your knees, your hips for a more smooth ride. Overall though, it does absorb a lot of shock. You can feel that definitely underneath the ball of your foot when you're landing. And then of course, there's that urethane underfoot pad. Now a lot of people kind of bypass looking at this, but it actually has fairly significant importance because it does a good job at helping to dampen the ride, not cause chatter with your feet. And if your binding disc gets a little bit loose, it actually helps it to stop from like getting disco foot, which is actually kind of nice. The high back again is a slime back style high back, so there is a little bit of urethane to it. So on the corners it is just a touch softer, but it still has a good amount of response straight back onto the heel side edge. There's a bit of padding, but there's really not much to it. And surprisingly enough, you know, the LTDs are actually fairly lightweight with that aluminum style base plate system. Now the ankle strap is pretty unique. And this is called, I believe Ride calls it just like a two-piece injected ankle. Well, to kind of get a little bit more further in depth, it's a 3D molded dual component style strap. So there's nice little cutouts on the top and the bottom. So when you're leaning over the top of that toe side edge, you're not gonna get a lot of material pinching like down the center of your boot on that strap. The two pieces of the dual component have a different density as well. The overall piece, the larger piece, where there's more lateral and medial support than the center, it has to be a little bit softer of a durometer style rating. The center thick spine is actually quite a bit more stiff and more rigid. But even though it does have a good amount of rigidity through the center of it when you're over the toe side edge for quick response, it's still fairly pliable both towards the nose and the tail of your board. So you have a little bit of free range movement there. And then there's that toe strap. Now the toe strap is nice because it's called a Thin Grip Max. It's a little bit different shape than what you find in Thin Grip 2.0. It's a convertible style strap that can be worn on the top of the toes or over the top of the foot. It's a nice versatile strap that does well and grips to a lot of different shape of binding. So it has this kind of an internal style webbing to it. And then on the inside, there's actually little ribs to help to grip on any kind of boot surface. I like the Thin Grip series from Ride because they do a really great job at gripping your boots. Whereas some binding manufacturers may have some harder, style plastic that tends to slip up or down. These Thin Grip Maxes are actually really good. Both straps feature linkage style ratchets. They have really good levers on the internal side of them. They actually have, again, more ribbing for better grip and then easy to use release tabs. But the thing that is great about the linkage ratchets is that you can actually hear that there's no teeth grinding when you release the strap, reducing the over amount of wear that you're going to get on your teeth when you're loosening the straps up. And of course there's this thing. This is the micro disc. Now, the cool part about the Infinity chassis from Ride is that it's compatible, of course, with this thing. This allows for a smaller imprint on your board and allows your board to flex more naturally, even though that this is an aluminum style base plate. Now, the disc is compatible with the channel system and 2x4 mounting patterns, not 4x4 or Burton's old school 3D pattern. So basically you can mount this binding on anything, any modern day snowboard. But another cool thing to think about with this disc and the Infinity chassis is that in those transition zones from the side wall of the binding to the base of the binding, they actually have a design where it's actually rolled out and curved instead of at an abrupt perpendicular style angle. And that allows for the binding to roll more naturally on the board and help the board flex like it should without any crazy crease spots. This is a great piece. It's an LTD, matches up with the burnout. It's for all mountain freestyle riding. You can take it in the park, you can ride POW, you can take it on groomers. And of course, it's for basically anybody, but most intermediate to advanced level riders are gonna enjoy it a lot. This is the 2020 Ride LTD Snowboard Binding. You can check it out at thehouse.com by selecting the link below. Leave a comment or question. Let me know what you think of the binding. Subscribe to the channel there, check out more vids there, and hopefully I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.